We're changing it up today. We are doing Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, the Final Fantasy MMO. I've been playing it off and on for a couple of years now, and they just recently came out with a new patch that updated the Heavensward story arc. So I thought that would be like a cool change of pace to jump up in here and complete some of that before the new content comes out, Stormblood, which is the new expansion coming out in a couple of months, 2 or 3. And if anybody needs a quick recap, I can give that by request. But there's a whole lot of shit going on. There's a big story. But here we are in the town, well, the outpost of Mordona at the Rising Stones, the base of these fine folks here, the Signs of the Seventh Dawn. Here are some of our main characters. Alphino, the androgynous, stuck-up little douchebag. We got Tataru, the basically the secretary and liaison for the Scions. Here's Alice, Alphino's sister, twin sister. And there's not much else to start with, really. So let's just jump right in. The obvious solution. The interminable wait for news from Gridania seems to be taking its toll on Alice. Oh, and we immediately get a new orchestrion role for the jukebox. Ah, Zumacalis. I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before... Ooh. Communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The Council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Y'shtola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sig Garland has been called in to add his expertise to the proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands, and make haste for the Lotus Stand. I'm pretty sure game volume is a bit low, so I am going to tweak that real quick and boost that up. Now, I have no idea how long this story arc is going to last. It could be just a few quests. It could be a whole big arc. But if it's fast, or maybe even if it takes a while, I'll do some dungeon runs and shit. Hopefully there'll be a new dungeon in the mix here. Ooh, what's this? Samurai? Yeah.
A word, if you would, good
Fuck
sir.
yeah.
This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay, Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Don't fuck with the samurai, he will kill you.
Eh? Yes, you're in Eorzea?
Ah, a plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again.
This guy right here, he wore the brown pants today. That was a good idea. Pretty sure he shit himself.
You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port.
Oh my god. He's like the guy from Bravely Default, who sails across the ocean on just a little dinky rowboat. This guy is awesome.
Though, it would perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Fuck yeah.
God, man, are you all right?
Nice. Oh, there's Urianger. Urianger.
Far indeed from home, friend.
Urianger. The most trixiest wizard in the whole damn company. Even going as far as to pose as the enemy. And convincing everyone that he was one. Alright, let's see. Speak with the Silent Conjurer at Nofika's altar. That's the next step in our plan here. But first, let's boost this sound. This sounds pretty good. Voice, way up, for sure. BGM, a little bit up. The music in this game is actually fantastic. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, Dragon Book Go. Hello, Carbuncle. Where's one of my minions? I want to bust out one of my weird minions. Oh god, not that one. All the yokai. What's that new one I got recently? Ba ba da ba ba ba. I have no freaking clue. Oh, there's my Anima. Which is quite literally the physical embodiment of the spirit that lives in my weapon. And that is a sick-ass horse. That's the Kirin horse. Oh yeah, where's my new mount? I gotta bust that thing out. Is it this? Yeah, the Archon Throne. Okay. Hover chair. Okay, where the hell are we going? Nofika's altar. That is... here? No. What zone? Black Shroud? Old Gridania. Ah, okay. It's near the Conjurer's Guild. It's been a while since I've messed around in the actual cities in this game. So a lot of the city zones I kind of forget. see. Teleport to Conjurer Guild. God, that text box is enormous. Let's shrink that down a little bit. There's no need for that. Silent Conjurer. Well, you just fucked up. You just spoke.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
Yeah, that's what we figured. After a man known as the Griffin came by the Eyes of Nidhogg, which are powerful artifacts in their own right, he essentially used them, along with the death of hundreds of soldiers, and his own desire, his own anger, to summon up an as of yet unknown primal. He's essentially summoning he was attempting to summon one of the old gods of his people, of Alamigo. God knows which one. It can only be assumed that it's one of the 12. He's trying to summon one of the actual gods that the people of this world pray to. Not one of the primals, not like Ifrit and Titan and Leviathan, but one of their sort of normal gods that you might hear about at the cathedral. And now there's just this massive glowing orb hanging in the air above that base.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice-damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon, of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
When this thing was initially summoned, someone had to sacrifice their life to put up a barrier
Is this truly so complex a puzzle?
to save everyone's life.
Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
You basically just had to run.
What in the hells are you doing here? A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
Yeah, he's been roaming around the world since we kicked his ass. And basically just plotting and planning and making his own little plays in the background.
What do you want, Nero? I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Yeah.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanal since the Alagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I hope. I'm sure he does.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame?
Probably that. Probably me.
Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Alagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Alagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
Yeah, sure, fuck it. Why not? Let's wake up something even worse than Ultima Weapon.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Alagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Carteneau and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Carteneau being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
Yay!
My blade is yours.
I can't believe they found a new voice actor for her.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Nero is such a dick. So what's next? Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions. Not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the Council meeting in the first place. Yeah, fair point. Good God. A whole new outfit. Alphino is eager to join Sid and the others. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alize is already on her way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Let's see. Where is that? I think it's close. Oh, I can just teleport right there. Perfect. There you are, Sid. Zumacalis, Alphino, ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking about in the workings of the ship without some proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alphino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are... well, here they are now. So when are we going to meet Samurai Bro? Right. I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Cartano? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright. While Alfino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Mine apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Y'shtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Zumacalis, pray accompany Alize back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right. Everyone heading to Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. Hida? You are traveling with Master Garland, sir. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Yep, let's bug out. Can't believe they're giving me a whole other outfit. I don't have room for more outfits. Just get that out of the inventory there. I do not care for that man. Yeah, me either. Strange though it may seem, Nero's former loyalties do not trouble me, but I can see why people are loath to lower their guard around him. What manner of airship has no private cabins? Then again, I suppose Garland had to find somewhere to stow his half-baked inventions. So here we are, out on the outskirts of Mordona. And everything is completely screwed because of the battle that took place here a long time ago. Can you see the... Yeah. There's the giant airship with the skeletal remains of Midgard Stormer wrapped around it. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land in the toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? Alright. Saddle up. Use our hover chair to get back to town. What's up, people? There he is.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
Fancy. High-tech teapot.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remained behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
Yeah, that's who had to sacrifice himself. Papalimo.
By your leave!
Holy shit.
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yeah, he's probably from the same area as Yugiri, the Doman area. Which we have never actually seen with our own eyes.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
Gosetsu.
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly, but now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
It's awesome to finally get to see more Domans.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
That's where the title comes from.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri, you draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to try out Samurai and Red Mage whenever the expansion comes out. Zumacalis, wait. Could I speak to you for a moment? Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we ambushed you? Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. See what my new outfit looks like. Oh, swag. Such swagger. Actually, I like that. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? It's fantastic. You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light, it's... well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, you know, bring you home. May it always protect you. Cool. So, Scion Adventures monocle, jacket, bottoms, and shoes. That's actually a pretty damn cool new outfit. So the pants and boots went into my inventory. Monocle and jacket went into the armory chest properly. Let me see if I can remedy this at all. Probably not. I probably just have way too much shit in my inventory. Yeah, get that out of here. I don't need that anymore. What is this? Probably don't need that anymore either, honestly. There's some other crap I don't need. I may need that. Valkyrie's Boots of Casting. Nope. Old poop I don't need. So, Gosetsu. Look at that fucking katana. That sick-ass outfit. Let me turn off the UI. Where is it? Let's get a look at the new samurai character. Got that top knot action. And of course, Yugiri is a ninja. He's even wearing big old sandals. Cannot wait to see how the samurai plays. My blade shall carve a path through the Empire's ranks as the scythe fells stalks of wheat. Fly free, my pretty. Ida's eyes shine with rekindled determination. Two more orchestrion rolls. He who continues the attack and Imperial Will. They are throwing these things at us now. So we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well. I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alfino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryal. However you pronounce it. A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Zumacalis, Yida, and our Doman friends take care of security. Let's see. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. Going on an adventure with the Samurai Bro today. So now we have to go to... Well, we just have to speak with Sid here first. Where are you? Right over... Ah, he's way down there by the coast again. Okay. Let's say... Let's ride Whisper. Whisper a go-go. The goofy-ass yokai watchmouth. They're probably just like, what the fuck was that? What's up, people? Will this contraption truly bear us to the skies? Gosetsu is an accomplished swordsman. Should it come to battle, he will prove a staunch ally. Would that I could say the same for Nero. Soon, Omega, soon. I will see you rise again. I was a bit lost for a while back there, but I'll be fine. Trust me. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard, given that Aline Royale was still active when Omega was discovered. We can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we are flying into a fight. Okay. So we are going into the first quest battle for Fly Free My Pretty. Touch the giant
Now, where
key.
was that? Ah! I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
Awesome.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland.
Who's this dick?
Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it?
Look at that fucking hammer.
It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
True. I've literally fought gods. So one big hammer bro does not scare me.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Oh, we get to see some samurai fighting action before the expansion comes out. Oh yeah. Sick battle theme. Now, if I recall correctly, Samurai is a DPS class. Go for it.
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
I'm going to reduce my aggro here. There's probably not a chance in hell that they're going to get it from me, though.
You watching, Papalimo?
I want to watch and see what Samurai Bro does.
I have you!
Hi, Shoten.
No holding back!
Oh, we got some reinforcements coming in. Alright.
Look upon a
time for the
samurai
big
of
bada boom.
Doma!
No holding back!
Leave this to me.
Oh, hell. Is that it? Surrender. We have you outnumbered. Not really. Wouldn't be the first time. Oh, who calling me? Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Do what? Fuck are you on about, Nero? Oh, hello, Magitech armor. Behold, the Red Baron. Nice reference. Now end this nonsense. Well, I will. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward. For the Empire. But you're fucked. You are so fucked now. The honorless cur thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Yeah, you go cut his ass down. He's like, I'm coming for you, bitch. There's no escape. Oh shit. Hello. Diffractive magic attack. Cannon. Okay, yeah, let's see what this one does. That'll do. High-powered magic attack thing. Oh,
no holding
shit.
back.
Regular magic attack cannon. Okay, targeted. Sweet.
I have you.
Photon stream.
Your defense is lacking.
Tis my right to strike.
Explosion! What up? Oh, fucking hang, that does so much damage. Spray him.
No holding back.
Oh, that's what I got. Yep, use this on him. Big bada boom.
An opening.
Man, your Magitech armor is OP as shit, Nero. I want one of these for myself.
Tis my right to strike.
Get shit on.
No holding back.
Leave Yida alone.
Your defense is lacking.
Pew 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 pew.
Tis my right to strike.
Get out of here. Yeah, you better run. Deserting a battle is punishable by death. I order you to stand your ground. Come back here now, please. He's not coming back. Oh, here he is.
Tis my right to strike.
You're ready to get wrecked.
No retreat. No surrender.
I have you.
It's all over now.
Damn it. Oh, fuck. Ah. Let's use a potion. I have like 100 of them.
With soul and steel.
No holding back.
Knock him out.
Tis my right to strike.
You haven't seen the last of me. Mark my words. It'll be you who rules this day. Nah, not really, though. We're not gonna rue shit. We're good. We're all happy. We're having a great time. Delicious iced coffee. My blood.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Zordon? Are we the new Power Rangers? Are we getting a Megazord? Fuck yeah. There it is.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance.
Damn.
They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't become a problem.
Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I
Foreshadowing.
understand half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
I mean, yeah, is there? Is there any other way?
I suppose not. All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Sure.
Yes, that's the one.
Just hit some buttons. Fuck it. Give it a shot.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you.
Self-destruct initiated. You're all going to die.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
Nero boner.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
Now let's see how badly we fucked up. Oh. Yeah, it looks just like the moon of Dalamud before Bahamut got released. What the hell is that? I mean, it looks like another dragon, but... What the hell god is that? Some of the tidal wave. Oh, and Omega weapon can fly. This is fucking awesome. giant dogfight between a badass robot and some green dragon. It's supposed to be someone's god, but I have no idea what it is. I don't know the name of it. And then the entire world was killed. I might not be wrong, actually. Holy fuck. That looks undesirable. We are now venting atmosphere in space. Holy poop. Okay. So maybe they knocked each other out? I don't know.
Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
Yeah, Omega got knocked the fuck out.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Judging on the cutscene, it looks like they both unleashed so much power at each other that they just kind of knocked each other senseless.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
So Omega's going to be laying in a field somewhere, and the dragon thing is going to be, who the hell knows, off recovering. What's up with that?
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. Yep, we gotta figure this out. It's kind of a big deal that the long sleeping, god-killing robot was just sort of knocked offline. One moment, everything was functioning perfectly, the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. Okay, more musics. We'll have to give those a listen later. Do it. There we go. The Far Edge of Fate. Uh-huh. Finally, the title comes into play. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait. We must first... The Elder Seer is expecting us. Worry not, Alfinum. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Shigiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. Next stop is go to the Lotus Stand, which is right back over there. The Elder Seer awaits you within. What's up, Merwib? Another calamity averted, eh? How many times now have you and yours hauled us back from the brink? I don't know, how many times have you paid me for my services? 0? That's what I thought. Cleave. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched, even as Omega arrived. And from its mist rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Gir Abani. The primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to again. The battle raged on, with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. Oh, fuck, of course. I forgot all about that dragon. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of far eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. The Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Gir Abanian side of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Tarapin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. Well, that explains a few things, on which that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions if they managed in at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Gir Abani. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. The Stola and the others have gathered at Amarise's Spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. So now I have to go to Amarise's Spire, which is an East Shroud. Let's see. How about White Lantern? Big Bird. Bubble Bird, bubble, bubble, bubble bird. Somebody's doing a fade. Oh, here's Creole seasoning. Oh, thank the 12. After witnessing Omega's single-minded onslaught, I had visions of you being trapped between it and its target. Hardly the most rational concern I concede, but if you had seen what I saw... Yes. Sup, you Stola?
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbert's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberdal but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
Yeah.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by a mega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
Oh, hey, Scruffles McFooey. Thank you for the follow. That is an awesome and silly name. I like it. I'm in here playing the new Final Fantasy Heavensward storyline content. Getting through this stuff before the Stormblood expansion comes out.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhaps she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
Oh, do you play Final
The light's
Fantasy?
gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
You're a noob. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You gotta start somewhere. Oh shit, we finally get to see her face.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
So, for the first time ever, Yida takes off her helmet and little face mask.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask.
Ah, your sister's mask.
20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution.
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking spoiler
he had
alert.
fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric.
Out of nowhere.
And my sister had fought alongside him. She was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know.
What? You're blowing my fucking mind. You're blowing my mind right now.
Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them. I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise.
Okay. Hello, Lise. I hardly knew you. Hardly know you? I thought you were a different person this entire time.
When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
Hell yeah. Presumably, we're going to actually get to fight and free Alamigo at some point.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, in case you missed it earlier, they actually have a samurai here in game now. Just kind of teasing everyone a little bit, like, hey, look at the new clash you can't play yet.
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
Fuck yeah. Gosetsu. Samurai bro. I'm gonna be so busy when the expansion comes out. Gonna have to level up Summoner and Scholar, which will be easy. But then I'm gonna have to play Red Mage and Samurai. I've been hyped for Red Mage since they announced it. Ever since Yoshi P was seen to be wearing a Scarlet Witch t-shirt. I was like, you know damn well he's gonna have Red Mage. Let's see, though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she is resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell Tataru and my sister. Oh shit. Credits. I guess that's maybe this is the official end of Heavensward, the Heavensward arc, leading up into Stormblood. Yeah, now they're playing the Heavensward theme.
Echoes of truths that once rang clear. Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heavens near. But flames that burn full bright soon fell dark. Memories.
Surprised there's not a competition online. Who was the hotter trap? Alfino or Gerudo Clothing Link in Breath of the Wild?
One soul's cry, a passion welling within.
And there's Urian J meeting with that dick. God, I never realized they had so many voice actors. Like for each character. Do all these characters really have 4 voice actors apiece?
Swelling over long seas of blood are a song.
Yeah, another pointless spoiler alert. If you haven't played through Heavensward, pre-Heavensward, shit gets real. Heavensward and beyond, shit gets even realer. And then I'm expecting when Stormblood happens, shit is going to become the realest of all time. Because we're going to be fighting the new primal Shinryu. What, you rocking? What do you mean? Oh, character-wise, my best characters at the moment are my Summoner and Scholar, which I've got them both to 60, but they level up at the same time, so that's easy. But those are my 2 most geared characters, my Summoner and Scholar, so I can DPS or heal as needed, and I'm better as Summoner, but I'm a competent Scholar. Then the second thing, I'd say my second best geared character is probably my Astrologian, another healer. And I really like them as a healer. They're an interesting healer. They're more based around like crazy buff mechanics. And then after that, I think the only other character I have to 60 is Dragoon. I don't have any tanks leveled up. I was going to level up Dark Knight, but I never got around to it. And originally I was planning on leveling Samurai as my tank, if they made it a tank. But they're making Samurai a melee DPS. So once Stormblood comes out, I'm probably going to still rock my Summoner Scholar combo, but I'm absolutely going to be trying out the Red Mage and the Samurai. They haven't announced a third class, which surprised me. I was actually surprised that they are not releasing another 3 classes. And I thought for sure they'd have another tank character, but as of yet they've only spoken of 2 classes. They've only said Red Mage and Samurai. They have shown off a bit of Red Mage, a bit of what Red Mage can do. They're a caster, but the way they fight is sort of a melee magic hybrid. They sort of have spell combos with their sword, and it looks like they use classic Red Mage weapons. They use a rapier, and they don't use a shield. They don't have an offhand shield like the old school Red Mages, but they have this like focus crystal thing. I don't remember what they called it. And Samurai, they said, was going to be based around like situational stuff. They're probably going to have a lot of positional attacks. I thought for sure at first they were going to make Samurai a tank that was like the Samurai in Bravely Default, where it's essentially a counter tank. Which would have been interesting if they made Samurai like a very parry-heavy tank and actually fixed the parry stat so it works right. Just make it so that Samurai is like ready themselves and just counterattack and do insane crits. Bards? Bard is actually a really good class. A lot of people downplay it because of the DPS thing. Bards and Machinists don't do as much raw DPS as like a Dragoon or a Monk or something like that. But they do respectable amounts of DPS, and their buffs are really good. Like Foe Requiem is a really good buff. I'm not 100% familiar with all their buffs, but they are very useful. Bards are definitely a fully welcome character to me in any fight. I'm actually, like, it's funny the way that they did Bards in Final Fantasy, actually, because in most MMOs and games that have Bards, they're like a straight-up buff class, pretty much. Like, they just stand back and sing songs to do different effects. But in Final Fantasy, A Realm Reborn, they kind of... That's a good way to put this. They sort of shrunk down the broadness of the spectrum of roles. So you just have straight up tank, DPS, heals. So even though they are technically a buff class, they are also a main DPS class. So it's not like playing an EverQuest Bard where you're just kind of chilling out in the back and singing songs and like, hey, give me this, we need to go run to the raid area, give me the speed buffs on or whatever. It's like, no, you play a couple of songs to give people buffs, but you are constantly just firing your bow and laying DPS on enemies. And a lot of people like Bard. And I think Machinist falls into a similar role. It's a ranged DPS, a ranged weapon-based DPS. That has some buffs and some functionality with their little machine turret and everything. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Bard. I ended up, like, getting good at Scholar originally just for the purpose of getting into faster dungeon queues. But then I actually ended up liking it. And I tried out White Mage, and I tried out Astrologian, and I leveled up Astrologian to 60, and Scholar is definitely my favorite healer so far. I just like the way it works. I like the damage prevention mechanic that Scholar follows. White mages have stronger burst healing, and they have the Regen, where Scholars are all about putting up shields on people to prevent damage from happening in the first place, which if you have a Scholar combined with a White Mage or an Astro, it's a really powerful combination. The Scholar can put up an Adloquium shield on everyone and just straight up mitigate like a couple thousand damage off the next attack. And then the White Mage can pretty much just clean up the remainder. And it's really sick if you, God, I'm trying to remember the name of the skill. I think it's like Deployment Tactics. You can basically take all of the buffs that you have currently applied to one target and duplicate them and hit everyone near that target with the exact same buff of the exact same potency. So if you're using your main shield heal, you can wait for it to crit and get a crit shield on somebody, and then use Deployment Tactics to spread that crit shield onto everyone near them. So like all the other melee classes that are standing near your main tank will get like a critted like 3000 damage prevention shield. So whenever it busts out its next AoE within like 10 seconds, how long does it last? I think that lasts 30 seconds. So yeah, like the next AoE that smacks everybody will get reduced by a lot. It's also really helpful to put stuff like, you can, if you're doing a dual tanking fight or dungeon, you can use Eye for an Eye on one of the tanks, use Deployment Tactics, and it gets spread to the other tank who is also nearby, and all the other melee and anyone else who's standing nearby. So any enemies that hit any of those people will end up getting the Eye for an Eye debuff, which is really helpful. Astro, on the other hand, has the sweet card buffs, which are really powerful, but the mechanic of getting the card buffs can be really frustrating. Sometimes it will just give you like the same one like 5 times in a row. You're like, oh my god, all I want is balance. All I want is the balance card and like the Ewer card, so I can spread it to the whole party, and it'll just give you like spear like 5 times in a row. You just gotta keep shuffling. But Astro is a switch hitter. Depending on which sect you're using, you can either be a pseudo-white mage or a pseudo-scholar. You can either be, I think it's diurnal sect, sun sect, where you get some of your healing abilities get the Regen effect of a white mage, or you can be diurnal sect, the moon sect, and get the damage prevention shields of a scholar. So you can kind of sort of fill in either role as an Astro. Also, Scholar is not a shabby DPS. If you go Cleric stance with a Scholar and you just spam the Broil attack and the damage over time spells, like, you can crank out some pretty decent DPS as a Scholar. It's actually a fun way to run a dungeon. If you're like just doing dungeons for like your Wondrous Tales journal or whatever, run like an all healers dungeon, and just basically summon the fairy, and the fairy auto heal everyone, and then go Cleric stance with all the healers and just blast things. An all summoner run is also really fun. Just have a couple of people with Titan out to take the ads and stuff, and just have everybody lay into them. That's the thing I love about them adding the unsynced feature to dungeons and boss fights. You can do silly stuff like that. Stuff that would normally be suicidal. But if you're running You know, if you're running like Ifrit Extreme, like the old Ifrit Primal fight, unsynced with everybody with, you know, broken level 60 gear, it doesn't really matter what classes you're using. You can pretty much run nothing but DPS and still stomp it. This is the longest credit sequence of all time. I think now's about the right time to hit a button and skip this, because it's been running way too long. Wait, can I speed it up? I can pause it, I can skip it entirely. Okay, fudge it. Skip. After credit scene. Oh, hey. There is something. Alice. He may have mentioned, but Alfino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. I get it. The calm before the storm? Before Stormblood? Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Girabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence, correct? I for one look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect do you. And that concludes the far edge of fate. I think. Oh, here we go. Cutscene time again. Hey, Pippin. Quick march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face their retribution. We've got all three city armies going at this place. It's almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. I'm surprised there's anything left. Very well, Ilbert. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. What I want to know is how in the hell did someone from Eorzea dream about and summon a god from Eastern Doman mythology? My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Belsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown Icon continues, though both yet elude us. My Lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? No? No? Fuck them? Okay. Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend... Your will be done. Yeah, screw those people. Let them rebuild their own homes. Unknown? My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. Oh boy, creepy smile. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. You earn the achievement, 5 minutes of fate. I'm guessing that's just for completing that? Yeah, for completing the far edge of fate. We got Fate Walker. What is that? Last pillar to fall? I have no idea what that is. So for now, it looks like that's the end of the main Heavensward story arc until Stormblood comes out. But there is still quite a lot of things to do. I do need to continue that. Speak to Unukalai at the Rising Stones about the Warring Triad. But that is not the end. That is not the end for today. There's more stuff to do. There are dungeon runs, the Wondrous Tales book with primal fights. We definitely got more stuff going on. So let's continue on. With your victory over Zervin, the Warring Triad is finally defeated. I'm afraid, however, that mine own efforts have often been more hindrance than help. And you and your fellow Scions deserve to hear the reasons behind my actions. I promise to tell you of my journey, of who I am, of where I am from. The truth is, I am not of this world. I was born of a different star, a child whose power of the echo was too feeble to save his dying world. A child who, unlike you, never became a warrior of light. When all I knew stood on the brink of destruction, I was yet half grown. Had I been born but a handful of years earlier, history may have written a different tale. The seeds of other heroes that had yet to fully sprout may not have withered and perished. The star I failed to save is known to you as the Void. Oh shit. So he's from that world. Though Zumacalis knew not that I spoke of my homeland, I have explained to him before the cause of its ruin. A magic was devised to contain the defeated primal's might within stone known as Aura Sight, and the energies which bled from this imperfect vessel gradually corrupted the champions who wielded it. These heroes became slaves to an insatiable hunger for ether, eventually transforming into hideous fiends, and none who clung to the faint traces of light were strong enough to oppose them. The demons next turn upon each other in a war which drained the land's ether in even greater amounts, until one day the star was suddenly swallowed in a flood of darkness, an entire world unmade in an instant. The void scent you encounter here in this realm are the twisted remnants of once mortal beings who gnaw on what motes of life force remain. And as I lay dying, beaten and broken in my failed last stand, 'twas a white-robed Asian who found my tormented spirit and bore me away to the rift betwixt worlds. Elidibus has been my master ever since. At my mentor's feet did I learn of the nature of reality, of the existence of mirrored worlds, and the eternal struggle between dark and light. Sudden and overwhelming superiority for either side will shatter the balance, and the world in question will be returned to the void by a calamity beyond imagining. As the self-appointed custodian of this balance, my master warned me that the source, the first of all worlds, slips perilously close to oblivion. In what spirit did this master proffer such a warning? A benevolent gesture or veiled threat? To these questions and more do I mean to coax forth answers. Yet no matter his intention, the Heidelin doth that Heidelin doth teeter on a knife's edge is an undeniable truth. Knowing this, what choice was given you to make? I chose to join my master and act as his instrument on this star. The tragedy that befell my home cannot be repeated. I will see this world saved. And yet I hesitated at the most crucial of moments. What right have I to stand alongside a true warrior of light? In thine own words thou wert called before thy time, and I offer that thou dwellest overmuch on the question of what maketh the hero. The search for the answer leaveth thee paralyzed by doubt. Heed me, Master Onulakai. Thou needest not believe in thyself a hero to perform great deeds. 'Tis the deed itself which earneth thee the hero's mantle. Aye, the ideals you hold can be less important than having the faith to act upon them. Regula's loyalty to the Emperor guided his actions until the last, and though we did not see eye to eye on many things, his final deeds can be called not less than heroic. Personally, I find that faith in my companions allows me to act unhindered by uncertainty. I know that should I ever falter, Zumacalis and the others will be there to support me, or steer me back onto the right path if needed. I see. In the days leading up to my world's destruction, I was entirely alone. I never knew what it was to have such comrades. I cannot imagine the loneliness she must have felt. But look around you now, Anulakai. You're not alone anymore. Welcome to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I will fulfill my promise to save this world, and when I stumble, I shall be glad to have your hands there to steady me. My apologies. This is difficult for me. For so long have I spoken from behind a mask. We should all feel comfortable speaking without such concealments. I should hope you appreciate the irony of that statement, Yorianje. You wear 2 masks. You're even crazier. Dang, silly-ass elf. The last pillar to fall. Oh, one more? A demonic duplicate. Oh, is this telling me that I can just refight it? While we were examining the controls for Zervan Shackles, I found a tombstone that may be of interest to you. Would you like to take a look? Why not? Of course. The information contained within this device appears to have been used to generate a simulated battle of grueling difficulty. Challengers would be pit against a simulacrum of Zervan, the power of which has been enhanced to the icon's highest conceivable magnitude. It is described as the final trial for the most elite of Alag's warriors, intended to distinguish the truly exceptional among them. I have witnessed no champion more exceptional than the Warrior of Light. Are you not curious to see just how powerful Zervan may have been? I urge you to visit the verification node and undertake this ultimate test of the Alagan elite. Awesome. Well, we might have to do just that then. That sounds pretty sick. I fought the extreme mode version of the other 2 so far, but not this one. So it'll be interesting to see what this one is like. And I think after the break, that might be one of the things that we do. For right now, I'm gonna go take a break, take care of my dog here, who looks like she really needs to go outside. And then when we come back, we will run some Wondrous Tales duties, which will involve some unsynced EX primals, some possibly this new EX Zervan fight, possibly duty roulette. God knows what else. Maybe we'll dick around in the gold saucer for a while. I don't know. We'll see. But We will do that right after this break.